Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Grace, and this is
A Very Bookish Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 20. Today we are going to be talking about Shadow and Bone. We're going to do just an overall recap, and then we're also going to talk about what we want to see in the TV show. And today we actually have a really special guest. This guest has actually been listening to us. It is a listener, and when she reached out to ask if she could be on an episode, I was like, yes. Immediately, I was like, yes, perfect guest, always supports us, always shouts us out on Instagram, which I'm so grateful for. I'm excited to talk to you about Shadow and Bone because you also said you really liked Shadow and Bone, and I thought this was perfect. We had this episode planned already, and we were like, okay, we're just gonna recap everything about the book. And so today we have Literature Llama. Tatyana is how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I read your name and I was like, okay, Tatyana, and I was like, wait, that could be totally wrong. So I'll just ask at the beginning. But yes, Literature Llama. I follow you on my personal bookstagram, but I think I found you through Kate.
Yes. Yeah. Nautical Reads.
Yeah, Nautical Reads. Our friend Kate. I don't know. Do you want to just give us a background on your bookstagram and when you started your bookstagram and stuff?
Yeah. So I started in like the end of November, early December, and I had kind of discovered Bookstagram in like July of last year and didn't realize it was so popular as like a fandom or that it was a whole section of the internet. And so I just sort of watched from the sidelines for a while, and around November I was like, okay, I'm ready to start this. I need like a new hobby. And if anyone knows me in real life, I have a travel llama, like a stuffed travel llama that's different than my actual llama that I have on my page. And I had this one and I was like, she's so cute. I need to like make a whole thing about her. So I decided to kind of create the Literature Llama page. And I've always been a reader, you know, growing up and all through high school and middle school and all that kind of stuff. And so this was just kind of a natural progression. I think like everybody else, I got back into reading in quarantine, got really, really into it, and decided to start the Bookstagram.
Yeah, I mean, I see your shelf behind you. You have quite a collection of books, and I'm guessing that didn't happen since November. I'm guessing that's been quite a year's worth of buying books and reading.
Definitely. I like to thrift, so I get them in big hauls, but most of it I've had beforehand.
Oh, where do you thrift at?
So I have been to a couple library book sales. Like my library will do a sale, and they'll usually do like a bag of books for $5. So it's like 40 books at once. So I've been to 4 or 5 of those, and then I usually go to like Goodwill and Savers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you have to go with no purpose, just looking around.
Yeah, that's how I got my Twilight books. I was looking for them. I was like, okay, I need to find the Twilight books.
Yeah.
Found the first 3, and I was like, great. Wasn't even gonna plan on reading the last one, so it's fine by me. But so I found you because you followed the podcast, and then you were talking about it on your Instagram story. And I was like, wait, somebody's actually talking about our podcast. I was like, wait, this is exciting because I was like, oh, we actually have people who, I think that's when it hit me that other people actually listen to it. Like people I've never met before actually listen to the podcast. And I was like,
I kind of forget that. I kind of forget, like every time we're recording and every time we do an episode, I'm just like, wait, people actually listen to us just talk. That's insane.
They listen to us say the stupidest shit ever. Like,
oh gosh. For like people that don't know me, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Like, I think that's also why I don't want my parents ever listening to this podcast, because the amount of shit I just say, I don't think they need to hear it, or I couldn't look at them in the face if they heard the stuff I say on this podcast. The amount of times I ask a guy to rail me is too much.
It's a lot. But it was kind of like insane that, like, you know, when you started like sharing that you were listening to us, I'm just like, oh my gosh, people.
We would text Grace, Grace and I, because we both have access to like all the accounts and stuff. So we would see like messages and stuff, and we'd like text each other like, did you see somebody shared this? Like, oh my gosh, look at this. Like, this is so exciting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody like actually like actively, I'm going around in circles, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a surreal moment when you're like, we're a very small podcast. We literally do this just for fun. Like, it was just a why not kind of thing.
It was kind of like we FaceTime this amount of time a week anyways. Why don't we just do a podcast?
Invite people to come hang out with you while you do
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah.
come with us. And so since you've been listening since the beginning, basically, we decided to have you on. And we thought it was like really gonna be really cool, especially to have one of our listeners on, because we love hearing what you guys say too. So yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for coming on.
I'm
Yeah,
excited to be
especially
here.
an active listener. You're always like posting about us and you're always supporting us. I think that's also a thing because like there are people who listen and who don't even like. I've never seen. I like on it like on the Spotify. I know there are people who actively listen to us who are reoccurring people based on analytics but I've never like I'll never know who those people
Yeah, I
are
haven't a
because
clue.
they never like repost us. But then you do, and I'm like, oh, there you go. That's Tatyana again reposting us on her story. I'm just like, oh, this
Real
is great.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real people.
Yeah, an
It's
actual
tangible.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
tangible thing.
it's a face to the name, and like
yeah.
especially I thought it was funny like the other day when you posted the what's to come in April thing, and
Oh,
I was like oh, that's very don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. I thought that was so funny because I thought oh, it's gonna be obvious, like it's llama. Who do we
Yeah.
repost the most often? Literature llama all the time.
I tried not to go to the one that said llama. I was
She
like, I want people to guess.
She only did the cover only.
Yeah.
The cover only, and that's
There's
it.
a couple people coming out. It's not just me. Come on.
I mean, I think the guest hints are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Because it's basically people's usernames, and I was just like,
Yeah.
just do that. I was like, I'm not gonna make it too hard. But kind of to like get this off started. When did you first read Shadow and Bone? Did you read it during quarantine or beforehand?
So I actually just recently finished it. I started, I think, in February and read through the whole series and just finished Crooked Kingdom the first week in March.
Oh.
Fresh.
Okay, well,
For the
Grace has
first
not even
time.
finished Six of Crows, so
Look, don't come at me, okay?
I'm gonna come for you. You literally started Six of Crows. You had the audiobook, you have the physical book,
Yeah.
and you just didn't finish it.
It's so good. It's so good.
So good.
Okay,
Yeah.
look. So
Listen.
see, what had happened was basically, I I read Shadow and Bone years ago, like about 5-6 years ago, and I just picked it up because somebody had it there, and I was like, it looks pretty cool, and it was like the old covers, so I read it, fell in love with it, thought it was pretty cool. I started the second one, and it was really slow for me, and I just dropped it, got into a reading slump, never picked up a book for years. Then Book Talk came along, and then I saw it. It was one of the first sets of books series that I bought. It was like Akatar, Cruel Prince, and Grisha. That was like the thing. Those were like the three.
That still is the thing.
Those were the things. And so I got it, and then like I'm just like, oh, I'll just reread it again. Read the first one, read the second one. Very early in my Book Talk journey. I think my first video on Book Talk is me reading Siege and Storm. It was like a come vibe with me video. I don't really
Yeah.
know.
It was you outside at the pond.
Maggie's like, no, don't worry. I've memorized it. Well aware.
The amount of information I have on Grace is oddly a lot and very specific.
I'm kind of a little scared. It's fine. No, it's totally okay. Like I say this often now. Maggie is literally half of my brain.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, so I read it fairly early, but then like I finished it, and then like I was just like, I don't want to read Ruin Rising. It was just a struggle to finish the second one. I never read the third one, and people always were like saying it's just such a disappointment and blah 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 and all these things, and I'm just like, I need that thought in my head to leave my mind so that I could read it without even thinking about that. And then I was just like, okay, you have to start Six of Crows. And so I started thinking, okay, I'm going to do Six of Crows. And it was around the time people were doing like live streams of read alouds. Like someone at the time was doing like a Percy Jackson read along. And so I was like, let me do Six of Crows. So then I started doing it with my audiobook, but the live streams did not go that well because I would start talking after and just be like, forget reading, let's just talk on this live stream. And then I get busy, stop doing lives, and I have not gone past chapter 3 in months. Sorry. And it's not that it's slow, because it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not. The beginning's not slow. It's just
I thought you were like halfway through. You're just on chapter 3? I was giving it to you that you were like halfway through and you didn't finish. But the fact that you're on chapter 3.
I'm halfway through. It's fine.
That's halfway.
Yeah, definitely.
Chapters, right? I'm halfway. Look, Maggie.
I'm ashamed right now. Because like
might be better to watch the show first.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem doing that. I have
no expectations. There you go.
I mean, the show is probably going to spoil things for you because the show is set. Yeah, the Six of Crows timeline is set during the show, so like 2 years before actual Six of Crows the book happens. So like we get what happens 2 years before in Crooked Kingdom. It comes out and like those scenes are replayed in Crooked Kingdom.
So what's the timeline for everybody who's listening plus me?
Okay. So it starts with the first book. Shadow and Bone.
How do you not get that? What happened there?
I was totally thinking like, oh, the first book, Six of Crows, then Shadow and Bone. No, then don't listen to me.
I'm very concerned right there. If you're half my
nobody's
brain,
actually read it.
None of us are ready. Very concerning.
Yeah, so we have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising. I haven't read these for like a year. It's been like a year almost. And then we have Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom. There's no third book for the Six of Crows. It's not a trilogy, it's a duology. And then we have King of Scars, and now finally Rule of Wolves. I actually put it on my bookshelf today. It's beautiful. That's Rule of Wolves right there. That's the next book after King of Scars.
Nice. So Six of Crows takes place 2 years after Ruin and Rising.
Yes. And I think King of Scars happens at the same time as Six of Crows. Like they kind of overlap, right? I haven't read King of Scars yet.
No, King of Scars is after Crooked Kingdom. Yeah, so it's like directly after because Nina, spoiler alert, is in like characters continue on through like so like Zoya was in like Shadow and Bone. She's in King of Scars. So it's because it's the Grisha verse. So like the timeline is interesting, especially for the TV show, because like the fact that there's going to be six of like if they didn't have the crows, I don't think it'd be as popular as it is because like everybody, let's be honest, everybody is watching for Kaz Brecker. Everybody. And Jesper and Inej. Like who and the Darkling. Who cares about Mal and Alina really?
I don't know. Mal looks pretty good.
So,
Mal?
Yeah. It's interesting because in the book, he's like tall, kind of skinny, looks nothing like the actor. I thought that was so funny. I was like, they did a good job because he's real boring.
He looks
as
like
a character.
He's supposed to, he like the actor looks like he's in the military versus like when you think of like in Shadow and Bone, you're like, oh, this kid's in the military.
Yeah,
like,
the was like scrawny. He's
but
like thin.
He is strong because like I distinctly remember this. That in Shadow and Bone, you know, we're getting the intro of like, you know, Alina and Mal, and then Mal's like with the other guy who's always flirting with Alina, can't remember the name, but they're a little burly, but they're like lanky. So they're like that tall, muscular, but not broad-shouldered type of. So he was kind of, but not like
not this actor.
Yeah, I mean, like even the cast of Shadow and Bone, they all are beautiful people. I mean, Ben Barnes.
Good job.
Ben, I'm
okay.
That's all I have. That's all I can really say. I mean, he's my screensaver now.
Ben Barnes is something else. He's
man,
my heart.
Prince Caspian will always have my heart.
and I think it's funny in the book, they say that he's not that much older than her or
He's not.
around the same age. And I thought that's so funny because Ben Barnes is like 40
Yeah.
in real life.
But like I think it also makes sense that he's a little oh, that was my phone. I think that it makes sense that he looks older because he is old. Like
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Well, they did say that they also aged up a lot of the characters for the TV show because there is more mature scenes apparently, which if there
I'm
should be
okay with.
Okay.
yeah, they're apparently they aged up the characters because like in the books it's a YA book, so they're younger. I think they're like 16.
Yeah, 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Alina's 15 when
Yeah,
it
I think
comes-
she's 15.
Yeah.
And so I think it makes sense that, of course, the Darkling in the TV show is going to look a little bit older because we will find out that he is old. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's older. But, like, Ben Barnes.
Ugh, what a great idea.
Like,
I'm-
whoever, I remember the quote of him, like, walking up behind Leigh and, like, fine, make me your villain kind of thing. And or you and I are gonna change the world. When that sound was going around TikTok,
That sound plays in my head.
rent free,
Rent free.
rent free. Like this would just become a whole episode of us simping over Ben Barnes. But I think the casting was done really well, especially with the diversity in the casting. I feel like because like Mal and Alina are not how you would picture them, but then like that's okay. I feel like for the book to TV adaptation, the fact that they've kind of changed it around, like there's probably I know that there's like this theory that the crows are sent to capture Alina because that's what it seems like in the trailer. And they've never said that in the books. And
I
so
think
that's gonna
how-
be
Yeah. My theory was that's how they're gonna merge the two books.
yeah.
Since it's like 2
Yeah.
years apart, I think they're gonna look for her instead of that other guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I think that too. And I think they did, based on the trailer alone, they did visually it looks amazing. And the fact that
Good.
Netflix picked it up too was really good because Netflix has a budget. Like
Yeah.
Netflix can put a lot of money in CGI and stuff.
And Netflix is doing a really good job with fantasy adaptations. Not so
Yes.
much with like
Contemporary.
contemporary, but their fictional adaptations are doing really, really well. Like The
Like
Witcher.
Witcher.
is
Yeah.
Amazing.
They did such a good job with that.
Sheesh, I did not expect any. I knew nothing about The Witcher before, and then like I was just like scrolling through Netflix. And I was like, I don't have nothing to watch. Saw that, saw Henry, and I was just like,
Okay.
gotta give some love to my man's. Put it on, binge watch the whole season, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
I was waiting for The Witcher to come out because I saw like the trailer and I was like, I have to watch this. I have to watch it. And like I think that's one of like we'll talk about this, but like Akatar is being made by Hulu. And I don't know about much of their adaptations, but I don't expect much from it because like I think it should have been like Netflix or HBO who have proven time, like HBO
Or Stars.
did like
Well, Disney owns Stars.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. Isn't
So-
the guy who did Outlander helping with that though? I was shocked that
Yeah.
they didn't put on Stars since he already works.
So
with
I honestly don't think it will be like Shadowhunters.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Like an ABC
No.
family budget.
Yeah, I think we're way past that. If people hear Disney and they think Cinderella and they think
Yeah, they think
Disney-
PG-13, but Disney has
and-
like
Disney's been doing a lot better, especially with a lot of their shows that they're doing on Disney Plus. We have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's exploring, and they're getting bigger, and they're doing shows that are like well done, and they're not typical Disney. And then people forget that Disney owns a lot of different companies.
yeah.
And
Disney's
in
a billion-dollar corporation.
Right.
Like and like but I felt like I think I always say this is like HBO needs to pick up Throne of Glass because HBO would do an amazing Throne of Glass because they need that CGI. But I was also like ACOTAR also has a lot of magical elements, and so like you see like The Witcher has a lot of magical elements, and like Netflix does an amazing job. They just finished
Yeah.
up wrapping up filming season 2, and I know so hopefully by the end of this year we'll get it. And I mean, it's been almost 2 years. In December, it'll be 2 years, and which means Grace and I will have to watch it together. Um, and but I like I'm very happy with how the trailer turned out for because
Yeah.
Shadowbone, especially when the trailer got leaked, and Lay was just like, "Well, the trailer was leaked," and she's like, "Here you go." And the
You're welcome.
cast,
You're welcome.
the cast are like actually friends. Like you see photos of the cast together, and
They're
they look
so cute.
Yeah, they're so wholesome. Ugh, love them.
it's
I love like that the fact that like all of the cast they're like of similar ages.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
so nice.
they just like I love casts of like big casts. I don't really like shows with like only 2 or 3 characters and then everybody else is like side characters coming in and out and you don't
literally
really
The Witcher.
I like, yeah, I like character casts that like you have a big group. I love found family tropes, so I know I'm going to love Six of Crows. Like I don't deny that, but the fact that it's like a big cast, I love that they're all always together and they create that friendship, and you get to see that chemistry end up coming out on screen, and I feel like that their friendship off screen is gonna like transfer so well.
The chemistry.
It's just gonna be so
So
great.
good.
I mean, you know, not to go back to Ben Barnes, but like,
But to go back to Ben Barnes, I mean, we see in the trailer
It's like-
he is like the eye contact he makes with Alina. Everybody talks about that because he's like crying and like holding her face and stuff. And I don't know which scene that is, but like there's also that scene. I don't is it in the first book where he like kisses her and stuff?
Yeah,
it
that's the first
is.
one.
I can't
Yes,
wait to see that scene.
It is. Grace is like, yes.
They,
I remember that.
They have to have that
Yes.
scene. They have to have that scene because
Yeah.
everybody falls in love with the Darkling. And like everybody
Oh,
falls in love with the Darkling in the first book. Everybody. Like you can't deny it that you were like, oh, I love the Darkling. Like I don't like the Darkling and Alina together, but I like the Darkling. And
Yeah.
I can't
He's
say
great.
anything because it would spoil.
It's fine. I really don't care. It's
No,
fine.
it would spoil King of Scars, so I can't say anything.
Okay.
That's fair.
Well,
We're loud.
I have a
Characters.
theory about that. I think fan art has spoiled it for me a little bit.
Yeah. It's been out for a while. I don't know. After like
Yeah, if
4
you
years, it's not a
like-
spoiler anymore.
Yeah.
At this point, it's my fault. It's not anybody else's.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
like
Yeah.
but like Six of Crows, I'm really excited because we hopefully will get to see we definitely see Nina's journey. We see Nina, but we didn't see them in the trailer, oddly enough. So I think that's later
I think
in the
it's
season.
Matthias.
I saw one picture of the two of them, like when they
Yes.
showed who the cast was. But yeah, I haven't seen them since.
I swear I have been seeing this picture of Matthias
In the jail
change-
cell. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I've seen that one around, but I don't know if that was in the
Different
trailer or
internet.
not. Yeah, I don't know if that was in the trailer or not. I don't know where they got it. A lot of people are also getting photos that aren't from trailers somewhere. I don't know where, but somebody's leaking photos. I
Maybe
know
friends
because
with them.
I know, right? Like I'm like, do you want to just drop me the first season?
Let me know.
It's totally fine.
I mean, what we have? What day is it? It's the
The
23rd.
third. Yeah,
We
so
have 20 days.
Ew.
I don't know how I'm gonna like. I literally have been talking
Dude,
about this with
this-
everybody.
This show it has been taking months, at least a year and a half or a half of a year to film, to put together, post-production, everything, promo and all of that. And everyone is going to finish it within a couple days.
Oh yeah, like
Oh.
a day.
Well, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be like Bridgerton, where people are gonna watch it so fast, and then they're gonna keep going back to watch it. I think that's because that's
Yeah.
what I did with The Witcher. I always like once a month I go back and watch The Witcher,
That's amazing.
just to see Henry Cavill shirtless. Cavill, same thing. But I'm really, really excited to see the relationship between Alina and the Darkling, because we all know how it ends. But the fact that there's
Yeah.
non-readers who are
Grace
going to
does
be
not know
watching.
how it ends.
I kind of know, okay? I
Wait.
have a strong
Have you not finished You've not finished the Shadow and Bone trilogy? Is that what you're telling me?
She said that at the
Wait,
beginning.
I feel betrayed. I thought you finished it.
I'm sorry. Did you not say that at the beginning?
I thought you didn't finish Six of Crows.
I said that. It's okay. I have not finished that one either. So to go back again and explain this again, because I thought I did. I did not read Ruin and Rising because so many people said at the time that I was about to read it.
Oh, I remember.
Not good. They didn't like how it ended. Blah blah blah. I do know this. I do know that Mal is like the last whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
And things happen.
He gets the last rose.
Yeah, basically. But
what an ending.
Yeah. I mean the fact that like
that they die but they don't die.
Yeah. But like the fact that like us readers who have read the whole series know what's gonna happen, but then there's non-readers who are gonna watch the TV show and maybe not even ever read the book, and they're gonna be shipping the Darkling and Alina together, and then all of us are just sitting here like,
I mean, I am too. I don't care. I've seen it. I know what happens.
I hope maybe they change it up. That would be so nice.
I know,
wouldn't it?
I mean,
but like, okay, so this is my theory. Granted, I haven't finished the rest of the books. Don't come at me. This is my theory. My theory is because, and this is solely based off of the looks that Ben gives Alina. Okay?
I mean, who wouldn't want to be
notice it's not the Darkling to Alina, it's the looks that Ben gives.
Yeah.
So this is my theory. My theory is that they're gonna make us really sympathetic to him and really feel for him and see him. Well, he's not really a bad guy, he's just trying to, better. I don't know, some BS that they're gonna
redeem
spend.
himself. Duh.
Yeah. And they're gonna make it, well, he's not actually an actual villain. He's just
misunderstood.
Not
misunderstood.
The way that everybody else should do it. And they're gonna make us really fall in love with him. And I think they're gonna drag out that like love story with him for as long as they can. Even like past like him like abusing her power and like trying to take control of her. I think that's gonna soften the blow of like the ultimate betrayal. It's not going to be as like this harsh thing of like him actually being this truly evil guy who's trying to like take over the world and he's this old being. It's more going to be like he's been trying to help the world for this long and he needs her to help him do it, and together they will change the world for the better.
Oh man, I don't think they're gonna do that.
They might.
I think because it's a TV show, they're gonna have to have that like ultimate betrayal. And my question is when is the ultimate betrayal gonna happen? Is it gonna happen at the end of season 1, season 2? Because didn't they already renew for season 2 already?
Yeah, they renewed for season 2, and I've heard that. Spoiler alert! I've heard that Nikolai is not in season 1, so I'm wondering if this first whole season is just gonna be the first book.
I think it is, because like you see, like we haven't seen any of the sea dragon, and that's when he shows up, is the second book,
right?
So well, like, and we even see that when they go to the king and queen, there's only his brothers there. So my question is, because he's not there at all in the first book. I don't think he's even in the first book, so it would make sense that he isn't there. But my question is would he show up with the crows, because he is like a pirate? So my question is, would we see him as Stormhound? Is it how you say it? How do you say it? Stormhound. Okay, I was just making sure. I think we will see him as Stormhound, but like the readers would know who that is, but like regular people wouldn't.
With him, they might bring him like, you know, something happens where the Sukros have to like get away. They failed something, whatever, blah blah blah. And at the end of the season, I think they'll pay
Bring
for
him up.
passage on his ship, and you won't see him. You'll just see
Mm.
like maybe a
A
back.
ponytail.
You just
The
see
idea
his
of him.
hair, and that's it, and then cut, and that'll be it. And we'll be like,
Watch
yeah!
watch that be the final scene. Watch Nikolai be in the final scene. They are gonna bait us. They are gonna Nikolai
Yeah.
bait us this whole season because you got it's Kaz, the Darkling, and Nikolai.
Yeah, they're not going to do them all at once.
They
Nobody will
can't.
come back for the second season.
Yeah, like, and what my question is because we know Rule of Wolves is I think the last book in the Grishaverse because like she's been
Mhm.
writing this for a long time and I think she's wanting because Ninth House she has that and I've been waiting for the second book like come on Lay I don't want Shadow and Bone anymore I want some older adult content because we see like authors do that where they start out in YA and they move to adult but which Ninth House should be also made into a series but that's besides the
Ooh.
point. Have you read Ninth House?
No, I haven't, but I read the
Oh.
synopsis the other day because I was like, what is this even about? And I was like,
It's-
ooh, steamy.
It's an older it's a new adult book and it's more of like witchy kind of.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Order on Netflix?
Yes.
It's like
Love
that.
Ooh.
It has that vibes. But my question is like so we have like King of Scars and we just have Rule of Wolves. And so my question is how long are they going to make this TV show? Is it going to be the whole Grisha verse like because are they going to like call it Shadow and Bone but then still
Forever.
have like yeah, like King of Scars or is King of Scars like and Six of Crows going to be spin-off series? So
Yeah.
like cuz like Six of Crows those two books are like separate timeline like years at like 2 years
Right.
after Ruin and Rising. So it would make sense that they would make a spin-off TV show.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't call it the Grishaverse like we were saying with Shadowhunters or you know,
Yeah.
or like Game of Thrones, like only the first, I guess the Game of Thrones, they did do that. The first book is Game of Thrones and the rest of them are something
Yeah.
else. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting too, because I was like, isn't this like many books?
Yeah, like especially since I think that's what they're setting up for is because
Yeah.
they have the pre-series of like Six of Crows in the timeline that is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I think that sets up for a spin-off series like we see with like Infinity War and an Endgame and
Mhm.
stuff and then we have all these spin-off like TV shows, the Loki TV show, WandaVision.
I think
Yeah.
the thing with the spin-offs is like they would only come in towards the end
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
pick up. But because they're here for the entire season, I think they might do it like how they did with Game of Thrones and just continue it on.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
one game.
Well, the thing is like with Game of Thrones, all those characters that we saw in Game of Thrones were all in the books. Like there wasn't like a spin like George R. R. Martin does have like the earlier books and stuff, and we know that they've actually announced like House of Dragon, which is like the House of
Prequel, right?
it's the House of Dragon book. It's all about the Targaryens and stuff. They're conqueror of Westeros and stuff. But my thing is like that's how Game of Thrones works. Is it's 5 books and they have all that content. But with like Shadow and Bone, it's 3 books, and then there's a sequel, and then sequel is
Right.
King of Scars and Six of Crows. Those 2 duologies. So
I
honestly, though,
mean,
you could
it-
make it into movies. Like
Keep on keeping on.
they could make Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom into movies because like it's kind of like that
it would
heist.
be a good movie.
It would be
Yeah.
a good movie because
It's
like
like
it's-
Oceans with fantasy, like Ocean's
Yeah.
11 with fantasy.
yeah, like it's because it is more of that
Literally,
heist.
When I think about
Yeah.
like Six of Crows, granted I haven't read it. When I think of it though, I think of Ocean's 11. I think of
Yeah.
Italian Job, and I think of
Yes.
Now You See Me.
Yes, that's that. Now
Yeah.
You See Me is what I was thinking about. Or it's like it's that. Yes, they're like because like
Con artists.
yeah, because it happens in like quite a short time. Like yes, Shadow and Bone does, but like I don't know
It's,
why
like,
Shadow and
weeks,
Bone.
right?
Yeah, it's over a timeline versus like Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are like back to back, and it's like a quick.
Yeah. Like Shadow and Bone, I
Week
think
of
is over a
events.
year or so, and the
Yeah.
Six of Crows is like 2 to 3 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, it's like a fast thing. And then King of Scars, I think, is a little longer than a couple weeks. Because there's like time jumps and stuff in it. But that's why I think Six of like I don't like usually I like TV shows, like books to be adapted in TV shows, but the way that Six of Crows is, there are like big scenes that happen that would make it into a better movie than it would a TV show, because you wouldn't need to hit all those in between scenes that we see in Six of
TV
Crows.
shows.
Yeah. Like in TV shows where it lasts, they drag it out. Because like in Shadow and Bone, we see a lot of the training and stuff, which you would need in a TV show to show how she's getting ready and stuff. And like with what was her name in the hut?
Bagra?
You can tell. Yeah,
Bagara? I don't know how to say
Bagara.
her.
I think it's that. But we see her in the book. We see her in the trailer. Bagra.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how it sounds in my head.
I'll call her Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
that's what she reminds me of. But we see her in the trailer and stuff, and like Alina spends a lot of time with her, and so that would make sense for like, like that would make sense for her in a TV show to spend all that time, because in a movie it would seem so fast. But in a TV show it makes sense that it's 5 episodes. She didn't just learn this. It's a journey for her to like get like control her powers. And so
then there's so many other smaller characters that you see in Shadow and Bone that it's not like, because you get like Shadow and Bone is like heavy world building. You get the magic system, you get the political dynamics, you get like everything in between, all the types of like, different types of affinities that you can use. And so that you need to like break that down in a show. Like, I think that's why some people who didn't like Shadow and Bone turned away from it, because it's heavy world building. There's a lot of the magic system is really complex. Whereas if you were to do that as a movie, it would be skipped over. It would get like one scene. There's this type, and they do this, they do that, and that's it. Moving on.
You wouldn't have an understanding of the Grisha verse.
Yeah.
Like the because like you kind of know already, like from Shadow and Bone, like the different, like the map and stuff in the different areas, and like the political schemes that go on, because a lot of it happens in Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising, and even at the end of Shadow and Bone. But in Six of Crows they do talk about it, but it's not like the main thing as it is in like Shadow and Bone, because Shadow and Bone is it's a political power gaining book, and Six of Crows is like a money heist. That's what I would say. And so
I think it's not as relevant in Six of Crows. Like the universe, I mean, there are a couple Grisha and there is some politics, but I feel like it's not as relevant. So you could watch, or like they could make a movie of Six of Crows and Cookie Kingdom, and you wouldn't have to know anything about what's going on to understand what's going on in this movie.
That's what I was gonna say, is like you could watch Six of Crows and Cookie Kingdom separately, and like yes, there would be minor spoilers, because there are minor spoilers in Six of Crows and Cookie Kingdom for Shadow and Bone, but it's not like big enough that you wouldn't be able to read the books and be surprised. Excuse me. But that's like, I also kind of hopefully for like, I can't wait, because we all saw that like tiny teaser of the stag and the crow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
When that
insane. When that crow flew by, I was like,
everybody was book talk freaked the fuck out. Like literally on my feed, every single video was, even when the Shadow and Bone trailer dropped, every single video was a Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, Ben Barnes. It was literally like I think the fact that quarantine really hyped up Shadow and Bone, and I think Six of Crows over quarantine is what really hyped up this series.
And huge kudos to Kate's books.
Yes.
Because literally everybody picked up Six of Crows following down like the grapevine because of her.
Yeah.
She was like the root of Six of Crows, like getting the hype
Getting
that
hype.
it got.
Yeah.
Because
I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
it was hers. It was
Yeah.
that was her favorite series.
Where's her royalty check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Kate's just emailing Lay like, "Hey, I got
Yes.
this. Like, P.S. I'm the one who sold out all of these Six of Crow books. Where's my royalty check?"
Hey, for all we know, she maybe she got to be an
Yeah,
extra.
yeah, we don't know.
I
She
mean,
got to-
well,
maybe she got to be on the show. That'll be her thing.
I don't know.
Nice.
But like, well, we even see like Lay is in the show. I
Is
don't know.
she?
Have y'all seen that? It's like it's the Darkling and Alina
Yeah.
standing, and there's like a group
She's
of
in-
Grisa. She's behind there. She's like in the second row in a
Oh,
purple
that's awesome.
kefta.
Cool.
Yeah, and like people, I
That's
think they
so
posted
cool.
and they're like, "Can you find her?" And everybody found her immediately because she's like looking down,
Oh
and
my
you see
gosh,
her
that's so
blonde
fun.
hair.
That's
Yeah.
always nice. I like when they do that. They did if you guys have watched Outlander, like the behind the scenes, she's in like the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so fun. Like the author put so much effort into this. You guys make a show about it and then they get to like be in the show. That's cool.
I think that's like never have y'all watched I'm not gonna never mind. It's for it's for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh no.
One of the original comic artists is in the show because that episode was heavily influenced by that comic.
That's nice.
I remember that. I remember it coming up on TikTok like literally yesterday.
Yeah, I watch a lot of this, so I can't wait. I watch a lot of like episode breakdowns for like WandaVision. I watched a lot of those from like heavy spoilers and like a lot of like there's those kind of like. So my question
Easter
is,
eggs.
yeah, they point out Easter eggs, and so I'm like, so all the booktubers are going to be doing that with Six of Crows,
Yeah.
and like in Shadow and Bone and stuff, they're all going to be doing that.
And so with that, I don't know if this is known or not. Is it like, are they going to do weekly episodes?
I hope not.
That's
Or
I think
are
Netflix style, they're
gonna-
going to drop all of it at once.
well,
I don't know because Netflix with other shows
have been dropping it one-on-one with
they
their
drop it
K-dramas.
weekly. Like their K-dramas are all weekly,
I don't love that.
and other episodes, other new shows are weekly episodes too.
Which I kind of think I would be okay with having weekly episodes because you look forward to
Yeah.
like that's how they hype it up is like the next
There's-
episode.
I hate
so
that.
much
I
to
hate it. I
You
hate it
hate-
so much.
Because like
But-
Grace and I, oh, what were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say, did they drop Bridgerton all at once?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And
I think they're gonna
Tiny
drop it.
Pretty Things, that one too.
They didn't think that Bridgerton was going to be as big as it was, but
Yeah.
because Shadow and Bone is getting so much more hype,
Yeah.
That's true.
I think they're going to drag out the traction
Ugh.
on it. I mean, that's just smart, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
definitely.
know that people are going to be opening up a Netflix every Friday or whatever day instead
And
of
they're gonna be
just-
rewatching the first episode before the second one comes out.
Yeah.
And like that's what you do is you want to rewatch so you know what happens. And
Mhm.
my like thing is like I was like, oh, maybe I should do that, like an episode breakdown and like go through all the Easter eggs and stuff of the TV show, like start a booktube channel and go through that. But like because like I do it for like WandaVision, which really helped me like better understand WandaVision and like catch all those little things that you don't really normally catch. And so I hope somebody does that for this TV show because like
most likely, I feel like
Yeah.
somebody will.
Yeah.
but
Books.
So like now with that, like what are some things that you for sure have to have happen? Like scenes that have to happen in this season.
well, we already know that they get attacked and that's how her powers come out. We
Yeah.
know that the tent scene happens.
Yeah, that's the
Like-
one I'm hoping for. I remember
Yes.
reading that. Like this is, I could like
It
see
was-
it in my head. She wrote that scene really well. You can see the army camp. You could see the tent. Like I remember reading that, being like, okay, I can definitely see this being a show. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's such an intense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene is well because like you've seen in the trailer, that scene is in the trailer.
Yeah.
The scene where they present themselves to the king and queen and like
Oof.
everything goes dark and then her son like comes I'm getting chills thinking about that. Like I'm in a sweatshirt and I have chills right now thinking about that scene because like you see him like lift his hand and everything goes dark and you're just like, oh,
CGI is gonna be good, yo.
It's gonna
Just-
be good.
So
good.
good.
Well, because you even see when he the scene where he, like the part of the trailer where he takes off his ring and then puts it on his other finger, and everybody's just like, oh my god.
I was
Oh
like,
my
okay.
It's like it's
That was definitely like the female eye. We love hands.
Yeah, they
And
did a
we
good
love
job there.
hands.
I think
The
that's why
attention to
they
detail, man.
probably should. I don't think they're gonna do weekly episodes. I think they're just gonna drop it all at once.
I hope-
But
I hope they're
it
gonna
would
pass, man.
it would I think it would bring in a bigger audience if they did it weekly, because then everybody would be talking about the first episode
Yeah,
and everybody's like, oh, we can't wait for the next one, and then people are gonna start tuning in and be like, oh, what is this that's going on, a weekly episode? I can watch it once a week.
yeah. I
That's
think,
ki- it-
and yeah, you know that people will do it because The Mandalorian and WandaVision and Winter Soldier. and
Game
all
of
that.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was a weekly.
They've been doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it goes both ways with like the views and stuff. People getting rewatching all of the season. It depends on what boosts the algorithm a little bit more, because like The Witcher, when it first came out, like that whole week people were watching it so much. Like it was like one of the most streamed shows at the time.
Yeah.
Right then. And it was just like a huge thing. The whole season dropped. Everybody was rewatching it. It was so good. Same thing with Bridgerton, right? But this, because it's had so much buzz for so long. I mean, how many times have people been rewatching the trailer? How many
Yeah.
times have people been opening up the Instagram? How many times have people been looking at the stills? I think that fandom pushing it through is going to allow for weekly episodes to have more of an impact because of the
Yeah.
buzz that we create. I mean, look at the buzz on Book Talk over a book. What happened? Pushing it out and people having it sold out at multiple different shops. So I think that word of mouth is going to give them more of an incentive to do weekly episodes.
Weekly episodes. Yeah, I think when the first trailer came out, it was just the deer and the crow. People were freaking out.
People, it was crazy. Like every single platform,
Yeah.
people were freaking out.
Like
I'm
a
looking.
30-second
was
trailer.
screenshots.
10
It
seconds.
was just
I'm looking.
So
I'm trying
that's
to look
fair,
up
that
the
makes
Shadow
sense.
and Bone Instagram to see how many times it has been so they have only 196K followers. The Shadow and Bone, Grishaverse, Destroy the Fold. One of them has 728K views.
Wow.
And another one has 415K views. So like people are avidly
Watching
rewatching
it.
these. Like avidly rewatching. So I do think it would be smart of them to
Do it
like
weekly.
weekly.
And
Because like I
that's
also
Instagram. That's not
Yeah.
YouTube.
yeah.
That's Twitter.
Yeah, because like
TikTok.
the idea of like being able to like watch it weekly allows for people to like do viewing parties and stuff, but it also allows for people to talk about it with other people and like to hype it up for the next episode, because fan theories are a big thing now, where you see people
Yeah.
trying to, like in WandaVision, people were trying to guess what would happen. People were trying to guess what the villain was, what the plot line would be, and it's obviously didn't exactly go how everybody would think it would go, but it's still like it gives that extra boost of
Yeah.
what is it? It's a good marketing strategy to kind of to
Yeah.
bring business into that, to have this it's this supply and demand, where if you have such a limited supply, the demand is going to go up for it. Like people are going to want more, and if you
Mhm.
restrict people from being able to watch the whole series, it's going to drag out the views, and it's going
Yeah.
to make people want to view it more. So
Netflix isn't listening to this theory. They should.
just bringing
if this hasn't
sprinkling-
come up for you all, just an idea.
sprinkling a little bit of my degree in here.
Gotta use
Talking
it
about-
somewhere, right?
Talking about supply and demand
It's so
economics.
Yeah.
But like
I'm
I'm
really
gonna-
excited for it though.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
gonna be good. This is such an intense month, man.
It
well, we have oh my gosh, it has been viewed 3.2 million times. The one that was released 4 days ago,
Yeah.
1.6 million.
Oh my gosh.
People are rewatching.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely. We're ready for
Netflix.
it. Everybody's ready.
Netflix, like Netflix, listen up.
Little PR.
Put it
marketing
out
for you.
weekly. Like, and the thing is, like, I can't wait to see what kind of like merch comes out for this, because we've seen people make like bookish merch and stuff already for Shadow and Bone, but think of like things that happen in Target, Funko Pops that come out, because we see like Game of Thrones, you have Funko Pops and stuff. A Darkling Funko Pop, that's gonna go crazy.
Because like with bookish Funko Pops, like people make them themselves and then they sell them. You know, like we won't get like Avatar Funko Pops, even though that's like a really popular, you know. But now that it's like a pop culture thing, like it's a show, it's not just us book nerds anymore.
Yeah.
It'll be like,
Because there will be
being pushed.
There will be other people who don't even know about the book community and stuff, who might just watch one episode and are hooked.
Yeah.
I think that also is one thing, is like when it releases, they always have like the big banners and stuff on Netflix. And so somebody who's not in the book community could just look at that and look at the trailer and be like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
Watches the first
Fancy.
episode and sees that the next one comes out in a week, and they're like, well, I got to start watching this series. And so
now, because of that, you know, we get all these non-book readers. How bad do you think the gatekeeping is going to be?
Oh, it's going to be bad. We've already seen book Twitter is like the worst book community, I'm going to say. No offense to book Twitter, but it's just a very scary place, because Twitter has no filter.
Yeah.
Like TikTok, big on filtering. Instagram is big on filtering too. YouTube is big on filtering too. Twitter, you can put porn up there and it's okay.
I don't care.
Like, book Twitter is a scary place. Like, you know, the not safe for work images and fan art that you go to look at on Twitter. Like, Grace, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, why you gotta call me out?
This is just me calling you out this entire podcast.
I
said too.
Grace, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm admitting to it too.
Oh,
the not safe for work Castile image of Poppy and Castile in the sand.
In the sand?
In the snow. In the snow.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm so behind the times.
That's the thing. I never used Twitter until I got onto like Bookstagram and stuff.
Book Twitter?
Yeah, book Twitter. But I'm like on like the fan art side, so like I just follow artists who put their not safe for work that can't go up on Instagram or TikTok up on there, and I'm like, this is interesting. I'm just gonna save this right here.
So funny.
Screenshot really quickly and then just
because our book club has a group chat, and she sent a not safe for work Cassian and Nesta image, and I just quickly saved it.
I asked first. I'm just like, would you guys be comfortable with me sending this? Because, you know, not everybody's ready for that all the time. So I asked, and everybody was just like, of course, yes.
Like, why would you have to ask?
Just checking.
Leave it to Grace to find it for you.
So sent it in, and then like a couple seconds, I'm like, you know, waiting for everybody's reaction. A couple seconds, saved by Maggie. Saved camera roll by Maggie.
Saved by Malia. We're just like,
okay.
This was like, that was pretty fast.
I mean, it was good. I have to give it to the artists.
It was that one chapter in Akasiv in the hall.
Have you read it, Tatyana? Have you read?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
The day it came out, I got it a day early actually. So it came like I pre-ordered on Amazon. I was so happy. I felt like a celebrity. I pre-ordered on Amazon, and it was said it wasn't gonna come till like 2 days after. And then I got a ping, and it was the 19th because it came out on the 20th, right? And I like walked outside and I was like, what did I no. I was just like, and I opened it up and I like took a picture and put it on my stories, and I swear like 30 people were like, oh my god, I can't believe you got it early. So yes, I read it in a day.
Yeah. I drove to Barnes and Noble that day to get it. I
was quick on it. I was like, okay, here we go. Ready. Now.
Yeah. No, it's a scene of them in the hall, and
quick off the mark.
It's a spicy scene. It's a spicy scene.
It's that quick off the mark scene.
Yeah.
That one. It's that fan art.
Wow.
Tatyana's like,
Twitter's fun.
Give props to Dark and Beautiful Art. She does amazing work.
I'm also really excited to see, because we've seen fan art for like Shadow and Bone and stuff, and like all bookish stuff. and we've seen how they depicted characters, and we can obviously tell that this cast is pretty diverse, except for Nina. I that this I
That's the
really am.
one thing.
That's the one
Yeah.
thing that I'm really sad about is like the fact that Nina, because Nina is she's a plus size girl. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
likes to eat her waffles. Like let the girl live and have some waffles. If Nina in this book does not like in the TV show does not like waffles
or doesn't mention it.
or
Yeah.
doesn't mention it, I
Yeah.
will riot. I will
Definitely.
riot. But like, because we've seen that the actress is fat phobic, and we've seen that like the worst person to choose
Yeah.
for a plus size character. And I think, and like they did pretty well with like the casting of like Alina and Mal, and they're not just white characters. They're obviously, I think they're both Asian. I don't know if Alina is. I know they have some Asian. Let me look it up before I just like wreck this.
People are
They're all
gonna
British
come at
actors too, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that they're
So
all
like a
British
wide
actors.
variety, yeah.
Yeah.
That really threw me for a loop.
Yeah. Like, it's not just an all white cast, which I
Yeah.
really appreciate. And like, who they cast for Inej,
Oh, they did.
it was
They
a
did
beautiful job.
amazing with
Yeah,
her.
they did a good job.
Like the fact that she. Okay, so Jessica May Lee is an English actor. So she's from Britain, but she's obviously like she has
Yeah,
an
of
Asian
descent.
background.
Yeah.
She's a but like she's not just a white person.
Mhm.
Like she's obviously. I'm just happy that it's not an all white cast, because like I think in a lot of fan art you just see that Alina and Mal are just white people.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not is, I think, important.
And I
It
like that. I think
shows-
you show that, you know, she grew as an author too in Six of Crows, because everybody is, you know, a different person and a different variety, and they're all from, I know these are like fictional worlds, but everybody's from kind of somewhere else, and they all look different, and they say that they look different, and I like that.
Yeah.
So I think you can kind of tell how she grew as an author, was like, I'm not going to make these characters just, you know,
All
plain.
white.
Yeah.
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 Well,
And-
because like we obviously see that like her influence is Russian, very Slavic influence, but I think we also need to realize that Russia itself very diverse. Like
Yeah.
Russia is 13 time zones. Like it's there's Asian, like they have parts that are like up close to China, you have parts that are Polish, you have like Russia is very diverse. And the fact that this is also, like you see with Six of Crows, it's a very diverse, but still like Russian, Slavic kind of background, really shows like that you can have diversity in a book, and you can have diversity in a TV show. And just because a character is white, the main character is white, does not mean that the main character has to be white in the TV show.
yeah.
And then it shows that like the ability of other actors, of POC actors, to be able to play characters depicted in book as white and still do an amazing job, because
Yeah.
I already know Mal and Alina are going to be amazing actors and actresses.
Mal, like he has
He
said maybe 2 words in the entire trailer,
and
not even maybe, and I'm just like, damn boy.
You're like, okay, I like you already more than the book.
well,
I'm
And
ready
I
to like you more.
It's crazy because like I did not hate him in the book,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was, I did get annoyed with him because like the reason why somebody on TikTok explained this way better than I'm going to do right now, but they explained it like this: the reason why we like enemies to lovers over friends to lovers is because friends to lovers is like childhood friends. They've seen who you were as like a child growing up. They've seen the good that you are. They always want you to remain and stay that person. But as you grow, as you develop, you change, you become different people, and the person that you are now is not the person that you were back then. And they will do everything to try and change you to become that person that you were before. That's friends, childhood friends to lovers. Enemies to lovers is that they're drawn to you, the main character, they're drawn to you as you are now. So they're drawn to the person that you have become, the potential that you have for growth thereafter. And they don't care about who you were they don't see that. They don't care about, they care about who you are now and who you will become. And they are drawn to that and attracted to that, whether it's like, hate turned to desire or immediate desire or whatever, but they are better in the long run in the future. Childhood friends is looking at the past. And I feel like that's why people didn't like Mal, is because when she got her Grisha powers, he was also always kind of like going down on her and saying like, well, kind of feeling like this, like jealousy, kind of like, well, now you're this and you're not who I thought you were. And that's why people hated him so much, because he would talk this way to her and not accept her for who she was all this time. But I didn't hate him.
But that's like reality of it. Like that's the thing, is like humans naturally do that, where something that I think a lot of people like, I even harp on Kale from Throne of Glass, but it's a fact, it's a human reaction that somebody who you thought was what they are turns out to be something better than you. You're gonna get jealous and you're gonna try to pull them down. That doesn't make it right. And I hope that Alina checks him. And I hope that in this thing she's like, well, bitch, bow down to me. Because like a lot of people, that's why a lot of people like the Darkling and Alina together, is because he does like push her to be bigger and more powerful, and he believes that she is powerful. I think that's also like another thing with like enemies to lovers, is the enemy eventually believes that you can do bigger and better things than what you're doing now.
Yeah.
And
they essentially had the fear that you were going to overcome them, but then love comes into play, and then
yeah. And like I was honestly like, I was happy with how Mal and Alina ended. I was happy with how things ended for them, because I always was like, they're gonna end up together. I always knew they were. Yeah. She was still in love with him most of the 3 books. Did she say she was most times? No. But there always was that pull. You can't deny that there always was this pull between them two. Either they were friends, and like I think that always happens, where one person doesn't realize that they have feelings for another person until they see that person starting to move on. Yeah. And that's when they like mentally are like, oh fuck, like I was feeling like this. Yeah. They're like, I was feeling like this, but I never said anything, and I'm gonna say something before I never get the chance to. So I think that's kind of the mentality of Mal. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you laughing at me?
No, because what you're describing right now
was a relationship you had?
No.
Oh no. What are you
You're gonna hate me for this. It reminds me of Adrienne and Marinette from Miraculous.
Oh my god! Grace is watching this TV show, The Miraculous Ladybug, that like kids TV show. She's been watching it, and I literally do not understand her. She's watching this cartoon kids TV show. It's always all over TikTok. There are heavy sexual undertones to this kids TV show.
Hey, but you saw that whole like character dynamic and that love attraction and that whole breakdown that's going on in the show, and you like that, so why wouldn't you like the show?
I don't know. Like, I just
like it is a kids show, but it's not. They're in high school, so it's not.
It's not a ladybug.
Yeah, it's a kids show, but it's not a toddler show. That's different. That's a big difference. And there's a lot of like love and kisses and hugs and
more. There's odd situations that happen.
There's not other stuff. It's a kid show.
It hints towards that though. There are major hints.
It doesn't. TikTok runs away with it, and they sexualize
everything.
Mark, because he's amazing. He's such a sweetheart. What my point with bringing it up is just like that whole like trope of like things slipping between your fingers and you trying to hold back onto it is like such a strong like emotional response that people play on in a lot of shows and a lot of movies, and that's why you hold on to it so much more and you feel more invested when you're watching it. You're just like, no, you go for it, tell them, say something,
because like everybody harps on Mal, like everybody knows Mal is like an idiot, but like you still kind of always want him to be like show her, like, Mal, like, do it, like, just show her, like, tell her you like her, like, just realize. And I think like a lot of people like want
Man up.
the like, yeah, like, man up. A lot of people say that, but a lot of people want like the Darkling and Alina to like be together and stuff because she's powerful and stuff. But like Alina didn't want that power. Like when she first stepped into that tent, she was like, she didn't want to be Grisha. She wanted to just be a map maker, and that she wanted that simplicity in life. And I don't think a lot of people registered that that's what she wanted in life. That's not like being a Grisha was something she had to accept. Yes, but like, can I spoil the ending of Ruin and Rising? Okay, we see
Spoiler
that
alert.
like we see spoil. I mean, if you haven't read it by now, that's all you
We
know.
don't listen to this episode.
yeah. You should have turned this episode off a while ago. But we see that Alina and Mal finally go back together to the orphanage and live out their lives together in the orphanage, which is going to be interesting to see at the end of the series if that happens. What they're going to do with the ending, because the ending of Shadow and Bone ends with them going back.
Yeah, it's just about them.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to continue the TV show if
well, I think that's the thing that we were talking about before, is if it'll go right into Six of Crows the next after the first 3 seasons, if it'll go right into Six of Crows, leading for them ending the series by them going to the orphanage, and then us like after credit scene type of thing where it does like a time jump.
Yeah.
And you see the beginning of Six of Crows, like just the beginning, and then it just ends.
That would be a good movie though.
It
to
would
have a movie after.
I mean, it could be like, you know, one of those things where it's like 3 seasons and then you get like a movie special.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
nice.
I mean, I'm not, you
Netflix,
know,
work on this. Come on.
I know, because like,
are you guys listening?
But like,
hire me, hire.
In the show
I'm
notes.
looking for a new job. Hire me.
Yeah, because like the fact that like Alina, I think a lot of people, that's why a lot of people, why am I saying a lot of people so many times?
Several people.
It's a lot of people.
Many people.
Many people ship Alina in the Darkling because he does embody that like power and wanting her to be better and to be powerful, and people want to feel that in a relationship. But I think they're also denying Alina's feelings, because yeah, she does kind of fall for the Darkling, but then she never really wanted that. I think a lot of people forget that is she like says like, I'm just a map maker. Like she denies it for so long, and that's also part of the why she struggles with her power, is because she doesn't accept that. And that's why I kind of was happy that she gave up her power at the end. Like, I hate that trope of them giving up their power at the end, but that's always because the person is already powerful and they've accepted their power, and like that's part of integral of who they are, versus like Alina really didn't want that life. She didn't want to be, that's why she denied Nikolai. That's why like she could have been queen, and she said no. I think that speaks volumes.
Where people kind of forget that. They forget that trope of like, they gave up their powers, but you haven't listened to them the entire series of them saying that they do not want this power.
Yeah.
They have said it so much. They have talked about how this power has created nothing but problems for them. They do not want it. They hate who they are with it. And them giving it up
makes them happy.
It completes their circle. Like, a lot of people are mad about like Nesta's ending with how she ended up giving up her powers, but it was because
she wasn't accepting herself.
Talked about it since it happened in Akomath, how she does not like this power. She does not want to be here. She does not want this power. And that ending for her was good. People are like pushing for like this trope and fantasy of like this person ends up finding out that they have powers, or they end up finding
And
out
they
that
have
they're
to love it.
wrong,
And they have to accept
love it. They want to accept it. It needs to become integral to who they become.
Yeah.
And they change forever past this point. But there are people out there who don't realize that, you know, this change doesn't have, they can deny it, they can walk away from it. And I think us as readers, we tend to lean towards the part that dislikes that, walking away from it, because we're like, why
We
would
want
you
that.
walk away from it?
Yeah.
Why would you give it to me? I want to be, I'll go. Do you not want it? I'll switch places with you. Come on.
Yeah.
You have the normal life, give me the magic. Because we want that extra, you know, that's why we read fantasy, because we want the power. We want to feel that beautiful magic.
You want the main character to go from powerless to powerful, to have that power, to have that status. And when the character goes from powerless to powerful to powerless again, it's a circle. It's a complete circle. They circle back to where they started. And I think I get it. If you don't like that, that's okay. But you also have to, like, I think not a lot of people listened to Alina. And in that scene, I keep going back to that tent scene where she's scared. She doesn't even admit it, and she doesn't even acknowledge, and she kind of puts it in the back of her head, and he has to, like, cut her and stuff for her magic to show, because she doesn't do it. And she probably wouldn't have never known her power if she hadn't gone into the fold.
Yeah.
And
even when
gotten
she's like at
scared.
the university too, you know, she has such a hard time. I know they say a little bit of that is because she can't let go of Mal, but she doesn't, like, want it. So she's like, I don't know how to use this because I don't
subconsciously
want this. Yeah.
She subconsciously like pressures herself and, like, puts it away. Like, we see that Nesta does that too, where they put it away, because it's, if you think about it, it's very damaging to your mind to have this power be spun onto you, and you don't know how to deal with it. People are telling you that you need to use your power, that you need to be this, like, you need to learn how to use it, you need to use it for this certain thing, and to follow these rules, and to do it this way and stuff. And, like, you're like, I don't want to. And so you're just like, well, I can't, because I just can't. And then and then that's why she struggles so much.
Yeah. And I think she has a hard time too, because throughout the whole thing, it's like she keeps saying she's never going to be as powerful as the Darkling without all the amplifiers, and that scares her, you know. And she's like, what's the point of having this power if I'm never going to be good enough to do anything about it?
Yeah, like,
yeah,
I think that's also a thing where, like, she's amplifying her powers, but, like, how scary would that be if, like, you are pressured into being more powerful than you already are? Like, the amount of stress that she was under, and the fact that the person who wants you to be more powerful wants to control you at the very same time. They want to use you for your power. Like, that's kind of why I don't ship the Darkling and Alina together. I would have shipped the Darkling and Alina if there wasn't the thing of the collar, like, him, like, trying, if he wasn't trying to use her, I think it'd be different. But, like, that kind of idea of him trying to chain her to him and to use her, like, yes, he wanted her to be powerful so that he could use her, and that he could use her for his agenda. I think that's really what I didn't like the Darkling and Alina together. I love the Darkling by himself, not with Alina. I don't think he needs a love interest. But that scene where he's, like, has his hand on Alina's face and he's, like, crying a little bit. Have you seen that in the trailer? And you're like,
want to know if that's the end, like the end of Ruin and Rising, or if that's, you know, right after the ball or whatever. Because in the book, that's kind of the first time that they're really alone together.
Yeah.
He tells her all that stuff.
I think it might be, like, the day after or something, because he doesn't have his full kefta on, I'm pretty sure. It's more of, like, he's more in, like, a casual clothing. So, and, like, my thing is, like, in, like, the maturity reading, that says nudity.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so my question is,
nudity means a lot of things.
Yeah, I know that, but, like,
the shoulder, you know.
My question is, but, like, you can still see, like, a sex scene and it not be fully nude, but it's still considered, like, nudity and stuff. So my question is, do we see, like, not like a fade to black or something like that? Do we see that, because the characters are older, so it would make sense that, like, something does happen between the Darkling and Alina in the TV show, because I think we'll have to see more of that connection between the two of them in the TV show versus in the book, where he stays his distance a lot from her in the
Yeah.
book, I feel like.
I hope he doesn't.
Honestly, that was the thing. I feel like in the first book, they like solidify the relationship. Man, he's so cute and spicy, and you're like, okay, I get it. I want to be part of this. I love him. And towards the end, you know, you find out, well, he sucks and he's like the worst. But I hope that they keep that relationship going a little bit longer because they did such a good job hyping him up, and I was like, oh, yes, I'm gonna love him. He is nice.
That's why I'm hoping that they drag out that tension between them for at least a season and a half.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they drag it out. Like, I'm hoping a couple kisses in season 1, and even through her betrayal, or if they do the betrayal in season 1, I still hope that the betrayal may be grand, but it's not completely earth-shattering against him, that she completely like blocks off all thought of him. But I hope that it's like lingering and her thinking about him to the point where, like, this is, screenwriters, be listening, because I'm about to drop a scene on you that probably didn't happen. It didn't happen. But like, I'm hoping that like in season 2, like she's with Mal and like, you know, she's starting to kiss him and everything, but it's like one of those nightmare scenes where like they pull back and it's him, it's Ben. I mean, it's the Darkling. It's the Dark.
I think that
it kind of
happen.
Does it happen? I'm pretty sure it does.
It happens only that she hears his voice.
I thought she saw
but it's
him.
not
I
that
thought she saw him too.
She sees him, but not like that.
Grace, you didn't finish the series. You don't know.
I'm saying, as in book 2, at least, it did not happen. There were times where he would come along, like be there talking to her and still have that connection to her, and he kind of touched her and things like that, or like she felt like he was actually there with her, but he wasn't. But I'm hoping that in like a couple of the steamy scenes with Mal, because you know that happens, that he's there in that moment, because I need to feel the tension more than what I felt in the book, because I felt like it was in the book a little bit and you felt
but it's a YA book, so you don't need to see a lot of it, versus where this TV show, they've matured the characters. The characters are older in this book.
And that's why I'm hoping that's why I'm hoping that it happens more, where we get to actually see and feel the longing for him, feel
and
that
the connection. I think
that connection. And I think it needs to be played out a little bit more. And I feel like because we're not reading her feeling that connection, we'll be able to see it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
stand that.
Yeah, because I want also to see, like, because we all know that Mal hooks up with Zoya in the beginning of the book. It's heavily implied. I'm pretty sure it happens. My question, I
don't want to see that.
Well, because that's kind of one of the important things in the first beginning of the book, is you see that Mal only sees Alina as like a friend and like more of like a sister and stuff, and he goes off with other women and stuff all the
other
time.
women go with him willingly, so I think
that's interesting too. Mal is a player.
Yeah, he's spicy, right?
People don't give him credit.
We were talking about in the beginning how everybody's like sees him as like this scrawny little kid, but he had game, because he pulled every girl that looked.
He pulled Zoya Nazalinsky. Yeah. He pulled Zoya.
He's supposed to be like really thin and athletic. I don't know if he's scrawny, but the actor they picked isn't what I would describe him as in the book. You know, I thought of him as like some, I don't know, tall, like Jesper.
Yeah,
that's how they describe him. You know, like tall, skinny, lean.
Yeah. He's kind of cute. I tend to push more for like brawnier men.
Yeah, I think it's a better cast for his character anyway.
Yeah,
we both. Yeah,
he's still a little tiny for me, but you know he's still good enough.
But he's also that like young, athletic guy, so it makes sense that he's I don't know how old they'll be in the TV show, but like it makes sense that they probably are just hitting puberty in the books and stuff. So of course he wouldn't be this big, brawny man that.
But now that we're older,
it would make sense that since they've aged more, he is more defined, we'll say. Yeah. And like, I don't know, because like, have you seen, like, we've seen Zhenya and not not Josh, Zhenya, what's
David.
Zhenya's boyfriend?
David.
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 Okay, David's purple kefta looks. The keftas. Okay,
The keftas are
clothing.
beautiful.
They did a good job.
Like-
Netflix spares no expense.
Like that's one thing I have to give it to the costume designers is that's how I imagine them to be.
Mhm.
Like this like
Yeah.
big thick fabric that like
Yeah.
very heavily Russian inspired like clothing and stuff that
Yeah, like a coat. Like
Yeah,
a,
and the
Yeah.
embroidery and the detail, yeah. They did a
and
good job.
especially Alina's because like one of them you see is like yellow with blue and then the other is blue with yellow. And I hope we see the scene where she doesn't take the Darkling's colors.
Mhm.
That's one scene I want to see
That's
where
important.
yeah.
Also, I hate
We're
her for
like-
that scene. I was like, girl, I would have been like, yep, no problem.
Well, because you see that's her like first like distancing herself where she doesn't like
Yeah.
she's kind of like no, I'll stay with the summoner's colors.
Mhm.
But it would have been so cool to see like well I think I don't know because we see Zhenya's in a white one, so it would have been cool to see like a white and yellow one where it's kind of like light in the sun, kind of
Yeah.
that mirrors the Darklings. But
Mhm.
his,
Oof.
oh my gosh,
Yeah, they did a
Like-
good job.
They just were like, we gotta make you look good, and he's just like, no problem.
I don't even have to try.
Literally.
Well, you see, one of in Kaz is wearing one of the guards' uniforms in one of the scenes. So that's gonna be interesting is how he gets the uniform and stuff. And we see that somebody is paying them Kaz, Inej, and Jesper, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's paying them to find Alina.
Mhm.
So that's
And-
gonna be interesting.
Kaz is wearing a kefta.
Yeah.
So
Like-
he
I don't know. I'm interested to see what the costumes look like for the dregs versus, like the regular Grisha and what that
Yeah.
looks like.
Well,
They're gonna-
especially
Make them darker.
my question is, are we gonna see the scene between Inej and Kaz where they first meet? Because that scene in the book is so powerful. What happens?
Yeah.
And
I
I
hope
don't
we
know.
get some of like Ketterdam. Like I hope that it isn't just all
I think we get
in-
some Ketterdam because we see in the where Jasper.
yeah.
I say Jesper because it's
Jesper.
J-E. Jesper.
Yeah.
He shoots the coin.
That's
And we see his art, we see his skills. And that scene, I was like, yes, where we see like he is this like quirky dude who can
my
shoot
favorite.
guns. Like
yeah.
he is this quirky character and like the actor
Mhm.
for him perfect.
Yeah.
I
like,
love
that's
his
how-
hair. His little curly like top. Oh,
And that's
God.
exactly how they describe him in the book because
Yeah.
his dad is Irish, so they say he has this like curly Irish look and
So
he's
good.
my favorite
He's
character.
So
Oh,
good.
he's so
you
good.
want to hear like this funny thing is like, okay, so don't come at me. I a while very early on in my TikTok journey, I came across and I was friends with a few book talkers who I met through Bookington Book Club, and it's Kate's book club.
Yeah.
On Book Talk, and so we were friends all on the Discord group, and then they decided that they wanted to make a Grisha Discord group, and I was like, cool, I'll help. Like, I haven't finished the series, but I'll help. I was reading Siege and Storm at that time, so then we joined the group, and it was only like 6 of us first, and we were the admins, and each of us became one of like
The characters.
pros. And I was Jesper.
I love
Oh,
that.
okay. I was like, oh, what's
And-
gonna happen?
I was yeah.
Oh, that's your story?
Then and like the thing is like we would talk about like the series, and then like other people started joining and everything, and it became pretty cool. The thing is like because I had not read the series, I was just like, I have no idea what else is going on here, but I'm gonna roll with it. And especially because I was an admin, I had to like be on top of my game. So it was really funny. And then like we even did like this video, this chain to promote it. Don't go down my page to look for it. Matter of fact, let me open up and private that
Delete
video
that.
right now. Maggie, don't do it.
She's over there screen recording as we speak.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Scroll
no idea
fast
what
as I can.
what you're talking about. Like,
Oh my gosh,
I
it was
have
so
Jasper cosplay?
I was not prepared for it. They were just like, it was pretty fun though. It was like one of my first ever getting into a character thing. There it is. I'm hiding it right now.
Wait,
He's
which one
such a
is
good
it?
character.
I don't know which one it is. I'm far back. I'm at like the beginning.
It's gone now.
You missed it. You missed it. It's over. Anyways, and like I got a hat and I got like the suspenders, and the problem with dressing up like Jesper is that I'm a big girl. I got big chests.
Yeah.
Suspenders don't really work with big chests. And so I had to like have them like, on the side, and like the white shirt, and like I had to like put my costume together like in like 2 days. And I didn't have like, back when we were kids, there were like you would go to the 99-cent store and there would always be those plastic toy Western revolvers.
Yeah, the cap guns or whatever. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm not crazy. I went to like 4 different 99-cent stores, bargain stores, whatever, Dollar Trees. You will not find a single toy gun at all. And I'm like,
okay, listen, I need this prop.
This is a different time.
Yeah.
Because when we're kids, that's totally fine. You play with guns, you play Western cowboys or whatever. Now it's not the thing. And so like it was so hard. So I ended up using like this big old Nerf gun that I had.
Oh my god.
And it was just
I need to see this video, Grace.
I'm never going to show it to you.
Can you at least put it on friends only or screen record? Grace, I have shown you.
Oh man.
We have talked about so many things, and that's what you're going to be embarrassed by?
It's funny. And it was with Jules from our book club.
Yeah.
Sam, and like 3 others. And everybody, like, we did a whole chain of like all of the dregs. And like I was playing poker, and then like I threw up the cards, and I was just like,
I've never seen this video. I've never seen
this. It was like the Friends intro song.
Oh wow, that is so good.
And like I was like,
we need to see this.
Flipping the gun around because I know how to do that with the Nerf gun, and saying like, hey, we're starting a Discord group. If you want to join, link is in my bio. It's not there anymore, I don't think. And yeah, it was pretty funny. And all of this without me having ever read the series. And it was so cute because like, in Discord, like you have like different like categorizations, and you have different groups that you're part of.
Yeah.
All in like one Discord group. And like we all took like little quizzes, Grisha quizzes on what like type of summer, like what ethereal guy or corporeal guy, whatever type of affinity you would have, where you would be from. I have it all. It was so good. That's Maggie, so stop looking for the video.
At the end.
No.
Who did she say is in it? Go look for theirs.
No.
It's gonna be in there. It's gonna be in there.
It's Jules.
Well, that's totally fine because like it's
on the internet now. It's gone. It's too late.
Third video. And I think only one person duetted me, and I don't remember who that was. So the 2 people who are in the video with me are there.
I gotta find this.
Well, you won't be able to find it. You won't be able to find it. So
don't think I won't.
I have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever taken like the Grishaverse quizzes?
I haven't.
No?
BuzzFeed?
No, it's like an actual like Grishaverse.
Oh, like the Harry Potter app?
Yeah, kind of, basically. And you take a quiz and you find out what thing you would be.
You are, and
like, or if you're a material.
Very like Hunger Games when that came out, and you were like, "What district are you in?"
Literally.
And oh my gosh.
So, I remember mine. I was a corporal guy, and I was a heart renderer.
Oh, that's the dream, honestly. If I had to pick one, that's what I'd do.
Literally.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, dang, and y'all couldn't give me Nina?
Yeah, like come on.
But it was totally fine because I think Jules ended up being Nina, and I was like, it was like literally between Jesper and Matthias.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I guess I'll pick Jesper. I have
yeah,
no
much
idea.
better. Much better choice.
Well, I can't even take the quiz because it's just blank. So
Oh.
that's sad. But
I'll send it to you guys after, and then we'll post the link in our Instagram story when this airs, so that everybody else can take it. Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get a lot of traction now that the show's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Lots of people want to know what they are.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, you know, I love when fandoms do that, like figuring out where you would fit into the world. Because like,
well, this has the potential to be like the new like Harry Potter sorting casting.
yeah.
Where I think we should start doing that where we put our order, what order we're in our Instagram bios and stuff.
Like where you're from.
Yeah. Well,
it's gonna be a lot. Like I think this show has given it the potential to be ACOTAR worthy. You know, like maybe the books are kind of slow and it's not the same tropes everybody loves and the favorite tropes everybody loves. But I think Six of Crows has such a big fandom, and then you bring in the show, and now it's like, okay, we just had Rule of Wolves, and now you have a ton of books to read, and people are
especially like non-readers, non-book community people who are gonna start reading, like my mom who's gonna start trying to read it and stuff. Yeah, which gives me even more reason to buy the books.
I'm gonna give Six of Crows to my brother once I finish it.
Once you finish it.
Why don't you give him Shadow and Bone first?
He won't read it. But if I give him Six of Crows, because it's more of like a heist and more of like
it's a very guy book. Like I think a lot of guys read it. Yeah.
Well, because half of the characters are guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
majority of the characters are guys.
Yeah, just Nina and Ned. Yeah.
And because he's like a guy's guy, will appreciate it more. And I feel like if he does end up getting like into wanting to know about the magic system, because like we said, it's not really vital to read it. You
don't have to know.
It's not really in there. But if he does end up wanting to, then I can hop him over.
It's a good standalone, like it could be like a standalone duology where that's why like I want to like get my mom to read it so that she can read Six of Crows, because I appreciated reading Shadow and Bone and then Six of Crows because it kind of flows like that. There are characters from Shadow and Bone who go Crooked Kingdom, who end up in Crooked Kingdom, and you see like what happens in that and stuff. But like it also makes me want to get the hardback books because I'm gonna grab them real quick.
Momentary pause.
She ended up getting alternate dust jackets.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They look so good.
Do they?
These are my alternate dust jackets.
Oh, I've seen those. I like them.
They blew up on my TikTok. The video that I have of putting these on has like 32K views and stuff. Like,
where are they from again? For
this is the Six of Crows dust jackets, alternate dust jackets by A Touch of Magic Designs. And the Danielle Jensen? No. Danielle, that's an author.
You mean Dominic Wesson?
Thank you. I heard a D. I was so close. So close. She did the covers and I like put it on my story and I was like, when are we gonna get a King of Scars and Rule of Wolves one? Because these are so popular. And we have Zhenya, Nikolai and Zoya on the back of this one, and it's so good. Like,
dude, every time she looks at it, she just like stops and like thought erases from her mind.
Like even
I'd like them to redo Shadow and Bone. Like I'd like alternate dust jackets for those ones because all of them have the stupid, no offense to Netflix, we love you, but like they all have the Netflix sticker on it, and I know that they redid them and I think they're really nice, but like I would like to see some fan art version, you know, kind of like the Throne of Glass ones or something like that.
Like that's why I hope A Touch of Magic Design does the Rule of Wolves, and
those are pretty.
These ones are beautiful. Like these ones are masterpieces, and so are the Six of Crows ones. Like those are the nice ones. It's just the Grisha trilogy ones that just look really, they don't really like match either. If you look at it, it looks very, it's just weird.
New. It's like very new age, right? I think if I was just gonna pick up a YA book, I would pick up that because they look fun. And the Six of Crows looks really dark. Like, oh, is this a thriller? You know,
but
All of them have that silly sticker on them.
Yeah, well, because I know they're gonna come out with the like TV adaptation movie cover ones too. I've seen those.
I'm okay with.
I
The
am.
Ben Barnes one is nice.
I would get just the one of Ben Barnes.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, I would just get that one. But I wanted to get like the hardcover ones.
His would definitely be the first book,
Yeah.
and she would probably be the second. And
I think there's one
Mal.
with both of them, isn't it?
Let me look on the Netflix. I'll look real quick.
I've seen it.
because I think that's would make more sense because like the first one's all about him, the second one's more about her starting to realize what she can do, and the second one has to be about Mal because you know
that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think like the third one would be more about Mal based on what happens in the third one.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. The first one would be Darkwing, the second one would be.
Oh, I thought she said. I thought she said the second one should be about Mal, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, the second one should be about Alina because
yeah,
it's just her. But
yeah,
I do have to say I did like the second one, even though it kind of took me a while to finish it, because I do like ocean voyages.
Yeah.
Something about them just kind of like make me excited, even though it's like in a small place and it's on a ship and you're not very close quarters. I think that maybe that's why I like it because it's close quarters. Close quarters.
Like Six of Crows, there's a lot of ships for a minute.
Yeah,
there.
and Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom. After Six of Crows, after they come back from, they're on the water scene and what happens. Yeah.
And I will get there.
Yeah, I think I liked the second one probably the best. I liked the first one. I thought it was really interesting. I remember when I was reading it, really thinking like, okay, this will make a good show, because I had known it was going to be a show when I picked it up. It was like one of those Bookstagram made me do it once. So I was like, I can really see how this is going to be the show. And the second one I liked, but I really liked it because Nikolai.
Honestly, when I met him, Stormhond, I literally loved his vibe. I mean, he was just
suave and fun and like what a good character.
He was funny. Like not a good guy. You can tell he's not a straight arrow type of guy.
Morally gray.
Literally. And like sarcastic and snarky, but like very protective and more. I was like, that's my character.
Six of Crows. It has like
I do love that one.
Jesper, Inej, and Kaz on it, but I don't know if that's an official one. I can't find the fact that maybe where I saw it, but I loved these covers. These covers were the best ones.
See, and I read it back when it was only those covers.
Yeah.
This one, The Gathering Dark, was what it was first called. This is the first original Shadow and Bone cover. It was called The Gathering Dark.
That it goes around with the time, because like if you look at the YA covers in times,
2012,
at that time, like the 2012 2010s, early 2010s, it was like that one girl pose in like a forest or like on a cliff or something
with like things around the edge, the border. Yep,
that's what it was. And like
it was.
People so I read a lot of smut. And a lot of smut has half-naked men on the covers. And every time I have like my big like books that made me blush, 18 plus books that made me blush videos. They're like my biggest videos I've ever made. And half of the comments are like, why do they put people on covers? I can't have people on covers because you can't hide what they're about.
You really can't. But like now more adult romance books are coming out with like more discreet covers. They're not so much like full body. Like
this.
Coming out with, like,
is that smutty?
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's not. So I read it, and there are some scenes where you're like, it's like it's a light spice where it does get more graphic. But it's not like a full like smutty book. There are some spicy scenes in it, but it's not, the whole book isn't just a spicy scene. It's more of a cute romance
adult
book, I would say. But it's like I've also have like boyfriend material. I
Mhm.
don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's a like red and blue cover.
Yeah,
right?
it's the UK one. It has like
Mhm.
it's on my page. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like a light spice in it. It's not a heavy spice, and I actually enjoy this kind of light spice. It's more of like the romance itself than the actual like sex part, but there's still good scenes in the book.
Yeah.
Especially
They're
when
not
she
leaving
wants to jump
anything out.
she wants to jump his pants, but he won't let her trope. Where like she wants it, but he won't let her.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like the make you wait.
Yeah.
That's the kind of trope.
I have a lot of like trashy Western romance novels.
Oh.
Those covers are better because it's just like a man on the front, you know?
The mass paperback version.
Yeah. Let me grab one again.
She's gonna grab a cover real quick and show us. But what is the one that
this one? So this one is "You Had Me at Hola" by Alexis Daria, and it's like a tuned cover, right?
It's they a lot of times
you still see like the tension between them, but it's like it's a graphic design. It's not like a, you know,
it's not like a realism. It's more of like a outlined art kind of face.
And it's like very like you can tell it's romance, but you also can't tell that it's super spicy. And
is it super spicy?
It's very detailed.
Grace level spice.
Yeah. And talking. And
okay, compared to Black Dagger Brotherhood, compared to Dark Lover.
Yeah. Oh, I have that on my shelf.
I got Grace into that book.
I think it's better.
Oh.
I think it's better because it's in it's
Half Naked Men.
Yeah. What is
it's
that?
also in his point of view.
Oh.
But it's
okay.
And it's just
one thing I wish this was.
There's communication. I love talking during this moment. Because if there's no talking, if there's no like, do you like this? How do you if I don't hear that, I'm like okay.
Unrealistic.
It's unrealistic, yeah. But
if I read here, because I'm listening to audio, but if I hear the guy saying things, talking things, talking to her.
This is where we're gonna get to our 18 plus content over here.
This is some podcasting after dark.
This is the literal after dark.
The sun is gone, okay?
It is.
If that happens, it immediately makes the scene like higher spicy rating.
Communication levels.
And on top of that, some of the things that he says is in Spanish, and I'm like, yeah, papi, because like
I was literally just about to say that too. I was like, oh, damn, papi. I was about to say that too.
If you haven't read this, do read it. It's a great Latinx romance adult novel.
It's a nice cover too. I'm convinced.
Well, that has a really nice cover. This Hating Game is actually being made into a movie. Movie Hale is going to be the main woman for this book. I didn't know that, and it even says like soon to be a motion picture, and I had no idea.
You're like, okay, whatever.
Somebody commented, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be a movie," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "I did not know this." And then
run out of ideas. They're making everything a movie now.
I looked, and I was like, "Wait, this is okay." But like books, like why not make them into a movie? Like the thousands of books that are out there. The amount of content you have.
You need to stop remaking old movies and pick up books and make those movies.
Yeah.
This is
okay. Show us your westerns.
Yeah.
You know, how did I know that the pose?
It's not like he's like, yes. I have a lot of them that are like just a barn, you know. So these ones are okay because they're not like, I don't know what this one is. The Wrangler. Yeah, it's nice. I have like that Lone Star Wedding where he's just riding across, you know, on a horse, and this one was just like a steamy man, but he's not like half naked.
Yeah, it's more like
this is just like this could be a nonfiction. I cover the cover.
I've noticed that with like a lot of like older like mass paperback, they have like those people, but like for like the new adult kind of things, they have more of these like discreet covers, which I can appreciate because like this book gets spicy.
Does it? Oh man.
It's the bookish
Goodreads.
She's like, yeah, it does.
I'm just gonna like
yes, it does.
I could probably flip to a scene and be like, oh, okay. We had to do that once for a book club. I read Azriel's POV at the end of like what he's thinking about, and I was like fully said everything that he was thinking.
Have you seen that TikTok where she was like, if you can say it without making a face, like say it to a friend without making a face? Have you seen that one? It's so funny.
No.
Honestly, like Maggie would fail that because she was like stuttering like halfway through it. She was just like, and
well, because I was put on the spot.
And late at night when it was just me alone, I was like, girl.
But I committed. I still laughed through it, but I did the whole scene. I did the whole thing. I was like, I was committed. I laughed, but I was committed. Because I don't think, like, I'm very, like, open with, like, yes, I read smut. My TikTok page has become a smut page, honestly. It's an adult romance page, where my Bookstagram is more of a YA kind of. I have some adult romance and young adult, new adult romances. But yeah, I'm very open with the fact that I read a lot of smut, not for the plot.
I mean, Akasif was not a plot. There was no plot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
That one's discreet. That one's discreet. Nobody will know.
My mom and my dad saw me.
Our whole podcast, we skipped over all of like the actual plot.
Yeah.
We just went into like the spicy scenes, the moments, training moments, and that's literally it. Anything with Cassie and Nessa, that's all we talked about. We did not talk about any actual plot.
Yeah.
That is going to be vital for the next books.
Well, that's a good question for like what happens with like Akatar being the movie, like the TV show now, because it's not officially a TV show yet because they haven't even written the pilot episode, which that could be rejected. But my question is like, you have A Court of Silver Flames where there's not a big plot. So how are you going to make that into, I mean, I guess, yes, there is plot, but a lot of it is spent training. Like majority of the book is her training. And people are going to get bored if that's.
I bet they only make it like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think with the training and the whole like that it being a TV show, it's because we're not going to be following just
Feyre,
we're not going to be just following.
Hopefully they have a lot more characters.
We're going to be following a lot of people. We're going to see a lot. We're going to see a lot of different courts. I'm hoping we get to see more of the date court and the dawn court because that's where we get more of our beautiful brown people mostly. And so I'm hoping that we get to see a lot more of them. And I think that that's where it's going to fill in a lot of like the slow parts in the plot, making when everything ends up coming all together fully rounded, like Baron has been working, you know.
Well, I mean, season 1 is not coming until 2 years. 2 years, season 1. And then how long is it gonna, if they even renew for a season 2? That's what, another 1.5 to 2 years?
Yeah.
So it's not even like 5, maybe 5+ years until we even get to the plot of A Court of Silver Flame.
And I'm hoping that they do the same thing, is that they age everybody up.
Yes.
Favorite 18.
Have you seen A Discovery of Witches? Have you watched
we actually watched it together. We watched it. I fell asleep a lot the second season. because we would literally start it at like 11 p.m. and I am a college student and I am very tired and I work a ton and I do a lot of shit throughout the day. And so it'd be like 11. My roommate does not think I do a lot. I do a lot. And a lot of it is reading.
Right now.
It's I do a lot, especially for the podcast and stuff, but I like fell asleep a couple times. There's one time I fell asleep and then I woke up as they were saying like, oh, she's probably asleep, and I was like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm awake.
It was really good though.
But they said, the author did a behind the scenes and she sort of talked through it and said, you know, in the books you only see Diana's point of view, and in the show she'd intentionally made it from like many different scenes and different points of view, and so you see like the council and all that kind of stuff spoilers for Discovery Witches, but that's not in the book. So I'm hoping that when they do ACOTAR, it will be that stuff, and it'll see, like, you know, when Tamlin runs off.
Well,
and
I hope we
somewhere.
get under the mountain while like Feyre
Yes.
is in the Spring Court. We need to see what's happening under the mountain, and especially what's happening
Yeah.
with Rhys and what's happening with all the other High Lords, because there's shit going on down there, but we didn't get any of it until they actually
Yeah.
went under the
It's
mountain.
like, it's kind of like, you know how some people like bash on Star Wars of just like, there's a whole freaking galaxy out there, but it's always dependent on this one freaking family. It's just so ridiculous because it's like the whole Star Wars universe has been zoned into all of the Skywalkers, and then their generation before, after, and then the future generation, the last trilogy, right? But it's like zoned in on only them. But it's just like there's a whole big universe, and I think that that's why Mandalorian was such a big hit, because like it was outside of them. And so if they do the same thing that with the Discovery of Witches, is that they show things that are going on outside of like this human girl's vantage point, we'll get so much going on. And I think it'll be heavy in the first season because not a lot goes on. It's a lot of like them dallying around in the Spring Court with Tamlin, her trying to fall in love with him, whatever. But if we get more of like the under the mountain scenes, if we get like scenes that have
Nesta in the human world.
Yeah, and like when she met Tamlin, like if they do flashbacks to how Amarantha came in.
How the Spring Court or other courts have fared, like other small towns. If we see how Amarantha's goons
ideas
pillage.
Sarah, if you're listening.
Yeah. If she would ever.
These people need to listen to us because we have so many ideas.
I mean, that's that's what I hope. Like, I think that's why Shadow and Bone really has hit off, is because I think they do listen to the audience, and the audience was like, we want, except for Nina, they were like, we want a diverse cast. Sorry, I have to call that out. Like, we all agree that it's just like, you just like, really? Ugh. Like, the one character. Why am I putting my pinky up?
I put my pinky up because that's usually definitive of tiny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. But like the one character that's a bigger girl that everybody loves that character. Yeah. Everybody loves Nina. The fact that they've skinny washed her. Yeah.
I think it's hard too because I don't know. I mean, I'm not like an active follower of British actresses, but like I don't think there are a lot of like popular heavy set actresses or like plus size actresses in.
Well, but that's the thing, is like none of them are really big people, like big actors, except Ben Barnes and maybe Freddie Carter, because a lot of people like were so excited that he was cast as Kaz. But like I think they did have like, and that's like another thing with ACOTAR, is you have a big opportunity to have more representation, because it's not only just representation with POC, but Grace and I always harp on this, it's also representation for all body types, all like even disabilities and stuff. And like they talk about that with Kaz's disabilities, they're not going to take that out of the show. He will still have his
cane.
Yeah, Freddie was like really adamant about that, like, you know, like, making sure to do that well. And like in a couple of their like, you know, cast Zoom calls, like he would talk about like when, first of all, that he read the book and how he was just like in the storyline, and how, and I was just like, that is when you can truly appreciate actors cast as like these high these beloved characters from books, that they
the fact that they read it. Yes, the fact that they read
commitment.
Like it's a difference when like I don't think a lot of the actors for like Game of Thrones read the books or stuff, but there are some of them who did.
Sophie and
I know Sophie did, but not every single one of them. Whereas like in Shadow of Bone, majority of them read the books. Like, and I think that's an important, especially like they were talking about like how to like establish like that connection with the character and stuff, is you read their journey so that you can actually live it, like you can read it and experience it, so you can portray that onto television. And I think that's a very important thing for when we see other TV shows become into movies.
Because it's not so much as like, you know, it's not so much that they're like, just playing a part and that's it, but it's just like as you're reading the script, you're just like, well, how would this character feel in this moment? Well, he's had all of this stuff happen to him. He has had this past. He is trying to go for this goal. So this is how that character would react to this scene.
Yeah.
So I have to do that.
Well,
You know?
especially since the scenes of the crows were not written. They're created for the
Yeah.
TV show. So I think that's also an important thing, for the fact that they read the book, so they know how the characters are going to react. And the fact that Lei was
Yeah.
very heavily, she was working very
Influencing,
one-on-one
yeah.
and influencing it and working with everybody. And she's in the TV show too. So I think that's I hope to see that more, that authors are putting in their points and stuff into the
and input,
series.
yeah.
And that production teams allow for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
And
that,
allowing
like, this
to
oh go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the other thing too is like this is a different than a lot of other, book adaptations to TV shows, in that there's such a big fandom behind it, and the actors were fans before they got cast, so I think there's so much like there's going to be so much genuine acting and emotion in it because they were like fans before, and now they're get to play the dream character.
Yeah, I think that's also a point that a lot of people are making with Avatar, is please start casting. Like, there are people who put cosplays, who put so much effort into this, who want to be actresses and actors and stuff, and that's why they cosplay, is to show their repertoire, and that's an important thing, for that they have a connection already to these characters, that they can, like, of course, like, they should go through, like, what's that called,
like proper channels,
auditioning and stuff. Yeah, and like to go through that process and to like vet them and see would this actually work with what we want. But yeah, I really enjoyed the cast for this TV show. I think
they did a
when
really good job.
Freddie Carter cast as Kaz Brecker, I think was the perfect, like, that's how I imagined him. And the fact that they got the slicked back hair, the chiseled cheekbones, I think is also where it's kind of this like haunty look to him, where he looks, I don't know,
Scary.
like
and deadly and
dangerous, right? Like, that's what
deadly.
he says.
That's what I'm thinking. Like death. Like, he looks like somebody who would kill you. Like, and especially with the cane.
He has the stare, the like, don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me stare. Yeah.
But he's like such a bubbly, fun guy, and that's so funny.
I think that's so funny when you see like the actors out of character.
Yeah.
And like they're so different from the characters, but it then shows like that it's perfect that they can, the commitment that they have to these characters, and the fact that they can put all of that emotion into it. And I'm just so excited. We got 20 days. As of recording it on the Saturday, so April 3rd. We have 20 days. When this goes out, it will be, let me look it up real quick. I think it's April 10th. We'll have 13 days. Oh my God. 13. I was about to say 10 days, but it's 13 days.
I was about to say, no.
April 9th. So we'll have 21, no, 11, no, 14 days.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I really just like,
he's really good at math.
We can see how good at math I am.
Grace is like, oh Lord.
I'm an accounting major, and this is so good.
Concerning to me that this girl does her taxes and has her like retirement plan in place, but cannot remember small numbers.
Well, that's for a calculator.
Yeah.
I literally will do 3 times 5 on the calculator.
Like 27?
I will do that. Because you have to check. I have to check myself. I have to be like,
I check 2 plus 2. So
you never know. It could change. It could change.
It could.
2 plus 2 could be 5 one day.
That's amazing.
If it does happen, my
I
fictional boyfriend will be very proud of me.
Okay, well, I think this is a good ending place. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've gone from 6 of Crows to Smut,
Bravo.
to book covers,
Yeah.
back finally to Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. I was saying Six of Crows and I meant to say Shadow and Bone, but we all know Six of Crows is the better series.
That's what's relevant.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the most popular series, and it's the most. I think it's better developed. I think
Yeah.
that's like a lot of people like Six of Crows better because it's you see her progress as a writer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For
There's a lot more characters in it too, I think.
yeah.
Like you to, you can relate to 3 or 4 of them instead of just one or none.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's no Darkling in it, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben Barnes can. He can.
What a guy.
I see that still of him standing there, and he has the smuggest look on his face, and I would kneel before him. I would kneel
Yeah.
before Ben Barnes as the Darkling. No shame in saying I would kneel before the man.
He's not
None.
Darkling. He is simply Ben Barnes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like how we only we only talk about him as Ben Barnes and not that's gonna be rough when
not
like we're
Darkling.
watching. We're gonna be watching the show.
Because we're not even gonna refer to him as the Darkling. We're gonna refer to him
That's
as
what I was
Ben
about to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be like Ben Barnes.
because
good old Ben.
we know what happens with the Darkling. We don't necessarily like the Darkling.
Yeah.
We love Ben Barnes though, so we don't want to tie them two together.
Yeah, they're not the same.
They're not the same.
Ben Barnes is a sweet man.
Ben
Yeah.
Barnes would never try
Never
to-
do what.
Never.
No.
Never.
Well, like, and I haven't seen Ben Barnes in anything for a while now.
Yeah.
And
He's just
I
been
think
aging gracefully.
He's
Oh.
done a lot of
he has aged gracefully.
Yeah.
he's done a lot of period pieces.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Which I can appreciate those too.
yes. I'm trying to find the photo of Ben Barnes just standing there. I have so many photos of like half naked men on covers.
Screenshotted.
Because I do like those videos where it's like books that made me blush, so I have to like screenshot every book
Yeah.
cover or like save every book cover. So then I end up having like the same book cover like 4 or 5 times. But it's great. It's okay. But okay, I'm officially gonna end this here because here we go. I found it. It's this still.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, look.
Gosh, the
Very, very
costumes, man,
quickly.
it's so good.
His slicked back hair and like his beard.
Grace is ready to say something. I don't know
Grace,
what
what
it
you
is
gonna say?
though.
Oh, it's because I'm looking at all of his cinematic history.
Oh.
He's been in quite a lot. Both Narnia movies, Dorian
Of course.
Gray,
Obviously.
Seventh Son, The Punisher, Stardust, amazing movie, Gold Digger, Westworld, The Big Wedding, Jackie and Ryan, The World, Sons of Liberty. He's been in a lot.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
he's an actor that he can he's able to
He's
shift
able to
and
flip it.
morph. Yeah,
Yeah.
and morph into different things where you don't realize it's actually him.
Mhm.
Like half of these things I actually haven't even seen, so
Couldn't
yeah.
tell you that.
But like even like looking on his Google images of Ben Barnes and you're just like, huh, the first one that comes up is this.
You're like,
Yup.
that is not the
Yup.
same guy.
Like that man is
It's the little eyebrow thing that he does. Kind of like he kind of brings one down a little bit and kind
Yeah.
of the other one up. Can't
yeah.
do it.
You
But
do
it's
a great
very
job.
subtle.
His smile is so sweet too. So like
Yeah.
he has like the scowl, like smirking look, but then he also has the sweet smile.
Oh
It's just,
man.
Him as
For my
Prince
birthday.
Caspian.
he's
him
like
as
a
Prince-
golden retriever when he's
A cinnamon roll. He's a
Yeah.
cinnamon roll
Yeah.
when he smiles.
Cinnamon roll.
This has just become a Ben simping over Ben Barnes.
Yeah, fanfic.
That's just
I
gonna
give
be
it
the
shout
title.
outs.
That's literally gonna be the title. Is simping for Ben Barnes for 2 hours.
Ben Barnes and some things.
Ben Barnes and some
Ben
things. That's
Barnes.
the title.
and thing.
Oh my gosh.
Irrelevant
Well,
things.
I keep saying I'm gonna officially end the podcast, and
We're
then we
ending
keep
now.
going.
We're ending.
Okay.
So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Tatyana, for coming on. I'm so excited that you reached out to us and asked us to be on because thankfully we were actually planning during that time when you asked, and I was like,
Yeah.
perfectly slip you right into our Shadow and Bone recap because I feel like Grace and I could talk, but having a third person always, when a series that we haven't read in a while, can kind of keep us in check to talk about other things. But I want to say thank you again, and thank you to everybody listening right now. This is a 2-hour podcast.
If you're still here.
Yes, if you're still here after our smutty talk and back into our simping for Ben Barnes, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Next week I'm going to tell you, next week we are going to have the Bookish Thief. No, it's
The Book Thief.
The Book Thief, Tish from the Book Thief 28 on TikTok. She does a lot of romance books as well. And so she's going to be on our next episode. I'm so excited for that. But
Wait, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Are you sure it's that one next?
Oh, nope, it's not. It's not.
Libra was your second clue. Thief is
Yeah, I was like,
sorry, I don't follow you or stalk any of you on the internet or anything.
I forgot about that. I was so excited for Tish. I totally forgot. Tish is okay. I was thinking of when Shadow and Bone releases, and on the day of Shadow and Bone releasing, Tish's episode comes out. So if you're listening to this episode at the very end, now you know who's all of the guests are. We have Literary Libra next, and we're gonna do another recap episode like this of
From Blood and Ash
and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire.
In preps for The Crown of Gilded Bones, which comes out
the Tuesday before this episode, or not this episode. It comes out on a Tuesday on the 20th.
Nice. Yeah,
which is I have like a test the day before. I'm like,
it's the perfect day for me.
It is. We're gonna have finished that and then start Shadow and Bone immediately after.
Literally.
Well, I don't get it until the 22nd, and I'm like,
you didn't get the ebook?
No.
I pre-ordered it.
I can't. I have a test. I have a big accounting test on that Friday. So I won't even start. You will probably start The Crown of Gilded Bones before me, which is unthinkable.
Oh.
So that's going to happen. But okay, we're ending this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey guys.